Okay, there we go. We are back. Alright, I've done a little bit off stream here. Gotten into kind of like a groove. And yeah, just now I'm adding back the menus with some modifications. That doesn't make sense anymore. So yeah, I'm just gonna continue here. Now here's the layers menu. This is for the time map editor, so we need the time map document. And focus. I think we had like get focus. Yeah. Oh yeah, so this is checkbox. So we actually need to get the pointer to this. So what if we do pointer version maybe? And then that has to be a mutable. There we go. Add layer. Probably should put that here. Now we need an allocator and then layer name. Okay. Oh yeah, so we can just call resistant time at that layer here. There we go. Oh, this need to be like this. All right. Oh, I see. Is current tool. So I guess we could, well, let's just get current tool, or else return false. Right, so now we have the tool, and then we want to return if the current tool is. Actually, I need the implementation. That's right. All right. Okay, back here. So time document, add layer. Yeah, I guess we can return it here as well. Time layer. This would be get map. Right. Active layer. So I'm just gonna do tile map. This. This is a pointer, so yeah. There we go. It's a little bit easier. And yeah, document. Here is time up active layer equals. It's kind of nice because most of these compiler errors will catch, like, once you fixed all the compiler errors, you have basically done a long way. Hey Peller7, hi, have a nice day, thank you. It's nice of you to come in and say that every now and then. Remove layer. There we go. Okay, so this one data. Wait. Oh, this is a callback. Wait. So okay, this one is interesting. So right, we can put something in user data here. The user data I put here as context. I probably want the time map instead, or the time map document. So let's do time map document. And get time map, get active layer. Okay, and then but now we need the allocator. Okay, so we'll get the, let's make a new, well, it's gonna be, let's make it a type for this. So it's gonna be layer name input callback context, and I need the context, and I need the time map document. I mean, I guess technically we only need the context, but it's nice to have this. Anyway, so this would be the layer name input blah 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 context. I'll just set that to CTX, and then that's gonna be this context allocator set name. So this, all right, because this is a buffer. So yeah, I think it's because we have this, you know, the actions stuff and undo redo that we do it like this. Because in here we call start generic action. When we're done, we call end the action here. So data. Expected pointer type found. Okay, so this has to be a pointer. And then now here we actually, this, it doesn't catch this because this is like anything. So we need to create a thing here which has the context. And the time up document. So I'll actually do this input callback data. No, input. What is it called? Here. All right. And okay, so Do we need to allocate this? Okay. Let's hope that works. Alright, so we have get history at least. Let's just make this easier here. Get history. Why does this need to be a try? I don't think it needs to be that. Also this one. Oh, we got rid of all the errors in here. Let's search for try in. Okay, so that didn't have try either, so let's get rid of that. I just try to get rid of all these tries here. So this one has a try. Let's just remove that. Also remove this. Right, so we don't have a details menu for that yet. So now we don't need try here. Okay. And I'm just checking all the types here, so we don't need try here either. So let's get rid of that. Now this one doesn't have any try, I don't think. So let's get rid of this. And then we don't need to try the main menu. And then you don't need to be a try. And then you don't need to be a try, you don't need to be a try. And you don't need to be a try. There we go. And then I think even you don't need to be. Well, actually, this one is a little special. So let's just keep that there. Okay. There we go. Okay, so we got no more compiler errors. So let's start this. If we can. It's just compiling a little bit here. There. Okay, so let's. There we go. Now we got the menu here as well. This one looks a bit weird, so I was trying to use like a capitalize function here, so obviously it doesn't really work. It's supposed to be, say, tile map here, but it looks like everything else works. Let's try and open this one up. Yeah, okay, cool. So we actually got this working now, and we can do all the things that we had before. Let's try add the focus, and then okay, so we only have the foreground here. Let's try and do some changes. Okay, and then we save. I think it crashed. No? Alright, because we need to squash history first. Okay, so now I save. Now let's... oh, we got some errors when we... Oh, we got some leak here. But let's just try and open again. And there we go. So now we can actually edit this. Great. So we've gotten quite a long ways here. Okay, so we have a couple of things to fix. So, well, we have a memory leak. I'm not sure what triggered it. Let's try and do this. No. Maybe I'll try and do the same thing here. Focus, squash, save. Okay, there we go. Something triggered it here. Let's see. Tile set. Okay. It's here. Tile map 290. So this one leaked. Okay. Right. And we're cloning the tile source. So when are we doing that? Set, right. So we are deinitializing first, and then we're cloning. Wait. If the destination has, we deinitialize it and then we clone the source. Right. And we didn't actually paint over anything else, so it shouldn't have deinitialized it. So it's just duplicating it. And deinitialize here we only free the tile. Yeah, because this is like the string. The tile set string. So are we actually not so it's like when we paint a new thing. It leaks here. So select tile source menu. Layout. Here we go. Okay, so it's here. So it is when we set the tiles. It is when we set. Let's see what's happening in here. Select tile source. So, right. So let's test this. I think it's when we do this. We go in here, and we select this, and now we quit, and there you go. There's the leak. Okay. So we're not clearing the brush, I think. Yeah. Which is in the timeout document. Non-persistent data. Yeah, we're not clearing these tools out on the initialize. So the current tool is deinitialized, but not the other ones. We should just go through each tool, because we have a list of tools that are like initialized here, but they don't have yeah, and I guess the source will copy source. Wait. How did we do this? Brush source. Right, so if the thing is null, it sets it. What's the thing here? Oh, this is the source. Okay. And the tile set is brush.tileset, but that's actually a constant. So yeah, okay. So what we want to do is we want to when the brush is deinitialized. Yeah. We want to look at the source and we want to deinitialize that. Yeah. Okay. And we need to do it here as well. And I think we, instead of just doing it on current tool, which doesn't really make sense, we want to look through all the tools and deinitialize them. Right? And this one is like a generic one. Well, it calls deinitialize. Okay. Now, will this work, or did we call this before? There we go. Okay, let's try it now. Okay, there we go. Now we don't get the leak anymore. Okay, great. Now, where were we? So yeah, so I think well, okay, so we got a couple of different things out. We got most of the things seems to work. We should remove this button here. This doesn't make sense anymore. The time map thing here, we need to fix that. The time map, these input things, we need to initialize to something, because it's not, yeah, this one just doesn't work. Okay, so and possibly other things as well. Well, let's start with the title there. Now, where did I put that thing? I think it's like active document label, yeah. Here, so this capitalized thing doesn't work. Now, why is that? Do I need to specify like C or something here to get it to be like a character, like an ASCII character or whatever? I guess because otherwise it's like a number. There we go. Now that works. Because this is like the first letter is uppercased and then the rest is there. So that's like the capitalized function. So the first one needs to be, this is the first letter, so it needs to be C there. Okay. Next up is, well, let's try undo redo actually. All right, that seems to work. Yeah, cool. Let's try, well, now this one is all right, because I think undo redo actually resets it. What if we set this now to something else? Okay, yeah, so that it actually works. It just doesn't work the first time, it seems. Well, it crashed when I exited there. Interesting. Oh, There's a lot of things happening here. Okay, so we got a whole bunch of allocation stuff. Oh, okay. Persistent data. It's not match free. Yeah, we got some weird stuff here. So is it the undo stuff? Okay, let's go here. 39 action. Right. I think resize. We undid a resize. Okay, let's go in here and let's test if this is only for undo, redo. For that, or so if we undo, yeah, we got some errors. Okay, wait, this one is generic, right? Right, because they all are generic. I don't have the actions are all the same action. They basically take a snapshot of the previous. It's very unoptimized. They take a snapshot of the previous state, and then you do some modifications to the state. Then it takes, when you end the action, it takes another snapshot which is after. So you get two snapshots, before and after. So basically of the whole time map. And when you undo, it basically just destroy the time map and restores the previous snapshot. But here something doesn't really work correctly. So when you actually do the undo, I guess it fails. So when it's like when it's destroying the time map. Wait, but what's this? Open editor? What? Oh, I see. This, it says free here, so here is like what it's trying to do, and I guess maybe this is the allocation part. It's showing like the stack trace of the allocation, maybe. Oh yeah, so here's the allocation. It says allocation size 96 bytes does not match free size of 64. Okay, so allocation is here, so we're allocating persistent data. Okay, and that is the same thing here. This is like the persistent data of the time map. Well, actually, let's see. Time map persistent data. Or did I actually move this? Wait, am I using? No, this is the time map. Yeah, so that's the same thing, right? Yeah. Okay. So we deinitialize it. It doesn't destroy itself. Great. We do destroy on that. But it's not the same. Right. So we're not destroying this, we're gonna destroy. Right, okay. So I think what we want to have, we want the time map document now instead. And what we're gonna destroy is the time map document. No, let's do this. Okay, I think I know what the issue is. So I've like moved these definitions around a little bit. All right, let's go back. Let's do this, and then now I can do this, get time map. Okay. I just want to double check here because the persistent data, this one doesn't have, well, it has the initialize, but we don't want to deinitialize the history though. We just want to deinitialize the time map inside. Okay, so we're deinitializing that. Then we want to destroy. Wait, but we don't want to destroy. Wait, I'm confused now. Why would it complain? Right, here we are creating that. So we should just be able to destroy it. I don't understand why we can't destroy it. Actually, maybe like how it was before, like why is this not a valid thing to do? I don't understand. It should point to this correct place and destroy the thing. Maybe there's something wrong with the generic document thing. Right here where these aliases. So this is what we use when we like load in a JSON file, and we're parsing here for a persistent data, right? So this is, so we get this. Then we use clone, right? Which is gonna be time map clone here. Wait. Right, but here we create the thing, but that's just the persist data. Wait, but then we need to. No, wait. Here's the clone. Yeah, this is the clone, and then we clone this. Oh, but this is not even a pointer. Oh, okay. So right. We don't actually, okay, so we don't actually need to destroy this here. We don't need to destroy it because it's not stored as a pointer, so we just need to deinitialize it and then sort of like, yeah, just write it over like this. Is this a pointer? Yes. Okay, so we're doing this instead. So the issue was that we're trying to deinitialize or free something or destroy with allocator something that wasn't actually it wasn't actually created with that allocator. So I would have guessed you would get a different error message instead of like it's the wrong allocation size. Maybe the okay, maybe it looked into the like that region or something, and it, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, I haven't looked at how it works, but I would guess something like that. Okay. So we don't actually, so that's the solution. We just remove the destroy. And we could get this back to point to a time map instead. Oops. We don't need to have the time map document. Okay. And we can get that back there. Right. Okay, so let's try this again. And we'll paint and then undo and then quit. Okay, that worked a lot better. Now let's try and get that history saved as well. I'm not using it that much because it's like very unoptimized. Each thing in the history, as I've said, will save 2 snapshots of the whole time map. So if you do a bunch of paints, when you save, it takes like a long time to actually save it. So that's why I'm not really using it that much until I fix the thing there. But here you can see we got the history. We can undo, redo that as well. So, okay, cool. Now that works great. Yeah, let's undo that and save. Okay. Now, next thing to fix is the initial time map size. So that one should be pretty easy. We have the time map document. When that one is initialized, somewhere here we probably should just be able to excuse me, initialize the I think the non-persistent data. We have load, so we could just, yeah, we could set it here. So we have inputs, input whatever size, and we get the persistent data here, which would be the time map, and then the grid size, I believe. So I think that's it actually. Now let's try this. There we go. Okay, let's try and change it to something here, and we will save, reload. There we go. Undo, save. Okay, I just want to test this. If you open up this one, and we open up this one again. So the way I've set it up now is like whenever you open up a new one, it should keep like it's created in memory, but if you already had it open from before, it should just open it from memory, which yeah, it should work fine. What else do you want to fix? I think that's it. I mean, we can test adding a layer, focusing on that. We can add, most other things should work right now. Save that. Oh, there we go. Found another weird error here. Allocation, maybe segmentation fault. Okay, interesting. We're trying to free the time set. So here I think we got the same issue. Maybe wait, this is the time set though. Okay, this is different. 283. Right, so this might be because the other one is a constant. We've set it to a constant. So when we initialize this, we should always duplicate it. Yeah. So why wasn't it duplicated though? Right, this is tile source. Right, wait. Initialize brush. So when we deinitialize the brush, right here we set the tile set like this. See, this is the, we should really have like an init function instead. And we need allocator, tile set, and grid position, tile source. Because what the problem is here, that we should always like duplicate this so that it doesn't matter where you get it, where you get the source from. It's like it can be a constant, it can be non-constant. So so then when we deinitialize here, we don't run into this crash here, because I don't think there's like a free version that checks for that and doesn't crash for it, which is, I don't know. But yeah, let's do this tile source. That's it. So now we just do duplicate on tile set. Yeah, and grid position we just set that here. All right. So now we got an init function, so we'll just use that instead. And there we go. All right. Let's check for any other places where we might do some weird stuff. Okay. So here we also do this, but I don't think this counts, sort of, because it's like a temporary thing, and this one also like copies the thing, so we don't, this one doesn't count. Okay, so wait, oh yeah, we need allocator as well. There we go. And oh yeah, catch unreachable out of memory. There we go. So yeah, that might happen when you create a new layer maybe, and then we do some stuff to that, save, exit. Okay, there we go. Now we got rid of that error. It's nice to be able to select the file you want to open like that now. Let's remove these layers. Let's, whoops. Oh, another crash. I think it's just, I'm trying to paint something that, so I didn't have anything selected. When you remove the layer, you actually don't have the active layer anymore, I guess. Right. Remove layer. Wait, this is a UUID. Okay, get active layer. Wait. Get layer by ID. Get layer. Right, let's do Get layer index by ID. So this one should return like a null. So if this is null, then this, we set this to be the I guess we just set it to be the first. I think we need to do that. We're just setting it like this, I guess. Okay, yeah, I think, yeah, that should work as well. Okay. Well, I mean, we're just setting the data inside, so this is all that we're doing. So we're basically doing the same thing. Okay. Right. So if after we've removed the layer here and we don't have it anymore, let's do it at the end. Then we set the active layer to 0, because we should always have at least one layer which is like the background layer. You cannot actually delete that from the UI, so we should always have one layer. Maybe I should like auto close this once we've opened the thing. Right, so now this one is, yeah, so now we can remove that. Okay, cool. So just a bunch of small fixes here. Okay, so I think we've got most of this stuff working. Let's just try a rename. You need to press enter for it to actually become an action there. And then undo, redo, yeah, save, quit, no errors, load in, undo, save. Okay, cool. So I think that covers basically everything here. Well, I haven't tried the select stuff. Create floating selection. This doesn't work. So let's do this. Control copy. Okay, yeah, this doesn't work at all. Oh, I'm stupid. It should work. I've just selected the wrong layer. So, okay, there we go. And let's switch layer to something else. There we go. Okay, yeah. So let's go in here. Let's try delete. Yeah. Let's try move. Yeah. Okay, cool. Oops, that looked very weird. Okay, there's something. Yeah, I think I haven't implemented like under reader for all of these actions, but whatever. So yeah, I think most of this or everything here now works. I'm gonna remove this button. So let's just remove that. There we go. Done. Let's just go in and see if it's gone. I mean, it should be, but yeah. There we go. Okay, so I think we've gotten like the time map editor back to where it was before this refactoring stuff that I've started with. So yeah, cool. Now we have we need to fix the scene editor as well. So basically it's going to be a lot of the same stuff that we've done except for the scene editor as well. So it's going to be like a lot of same stuff here. So let's see where, yeah, so here's this the main function, layout function here. And we have, for example, draw editor. Well, one thing, no, we'll start with draw. So I'll just do like the same things here. Draw, and then here we have a bunch of stuff that we need to fix. So it's not context.scene edit document anymore. Here we actually have the scene document here. So, and it's not persistent data like that. Let's just have a convenience thing called get entities. Get selected entities, get, yeah, I don't think we have get entities or whatever. Get entities. And this one is, wait, this should be persistent data. Entities, items, okay. And then, wait, we don't need to do that thing. There we go. And here we have selected entities, so we can say get selected entities now. But this one actually returns the array list, so let's do dot items. There we go. What's this now? Documents has no. All right, so this one, do we need this? Yes. Should we do like scene and then wait, where is this from? Document, scene entities, import persistent data. So it's in persistent data, okay. Okay. So we should be able to say dot scene there. No. Okay. Drag payload. Get drag payload. I don't know what the type is, so I'll just type that. C document. This should be in non-persistent data and drag payload. I'm thinking, I mean, I know that we have just started to finish the reorganization of this, but I think the more I work with this, this is only 2 different types of documents that were done with this so far. But we're gonna add a whole bunch of them. But what I was thinking is this whole non-persistent data, persistent data, that is very nice in some cases, but whenever you want to access the data in like convenient stuff like this, it's a little bit, it feels a little bit like going around hoops to do something here. Yeah. Are we setting this? No, we're just looking at it. Okay. Draw entity. Okay. Wait, is this from scene? Okay, so here we're actually using the time map. So here we're actually, all right. So we want to get the tile size from the scene document, which is kind of like the scene document actually doesn't have this information in the JSON file. So it needs to request the tile map but it shouldn't really. The thing is here, we're trying to get like just a grid position where the mouse is based on sort of like a tile size. The thing is, in our game, the tile size is always going to be the same. So we can just use, we don't need to look at the tilemap.tile size. We can just use a constant for now. So I'm just going to not think about this problem, and I'm just going to define this right here, which will maybe have a bunch of conflicts, but I'm just gonna define this right here. So there we go. And yeah, we're gonna get all these stuff, but this is float. Okay. Right, and this one is the same. Get size from entity type, right. Okay. Which is in here. Wait. No, that should exist. Oh, we don't have the scene document here. Okay. There we go. Context not used. Right, tile map. The only thing it's used for here is the tile size, so I'll just remove that and put this in there. Okay. What is this? Entity size. Right, so we need a scene document. I mean, this should really be like a static. Well, whatever. This is unused now, so. Grid to. Okay, is that it? No. Right. Tile map size half. Okay. What's this function? Draw entity? Oh. Okay. So, right. Now this is more where we actually need the whole tile map enabled to be able to draw it. So how we did this before is like you open up the scene file, it looks for the tile map entity, and it loads in that tile map, and you can use then it stores it in this magic thing here, or not magic really, but it stores it like directly hard coded into the context like this. Now it doesn't really work like that. Now we want to have the scene document be able to say that this time map document is a dependency of the scene document, and we want to request the data in it to be able to draw it here. So yeah, and I haven't really thought of how to do that. So that needs to be solved. Okay, I guess, yeah, there's more to this than just fixing these errors. Okay, right. I mean, we do have a way to open the editor and get the file in the memory. Yeah, so this time map is the entity. Let's check the type here. This is just a file name, so we could use that to... Why is it nullable? Why is it null? Okay, never mind. So we do have, so we have the context, we have, I think we have documents. Yeah, and then we can do get, but if we don't have the document, so this is where we need some kind of like a request system. So we could look for the thing in the documents if it happened to be open before, but if it's not there, then we actually need to load it in and put it into the documents. So what we could do is we could just add a function here, request document. I'm just gonna add this rudimentary. I want it to work in a slightly different way later, but I'm just gonna do it like this to make it work. This will basically immediately load it in if it's not there. In the future, I want to have like a lazy loaded feature of this as well. So you could request to lazy load a document, and then it will load it in the background, and then when it's available, when the data is available, it will show up. So we'll request a document, and I think the only thing we need is really a file path to that thing. And this would then, well, we would return a document here, yes. I guess we could return a pointer as well. So let's grab the entry, get or put key is path. Now path should be, okay, I'm forgetting if this should be absolute or not. Yeah, it's absolute here. Okay, so let's grab, we need the absolute path. There, we are at. We also need the target directory, which is going to be the root. Wait, what? Oh, it's a var target directory. Alright. And we also need to defer free that. Okay. File path. This is just path. There we go. And this is now absolute path. Okay. So we get to put that. Now we're gonna check if we found existing. Wait. Oh, this could be an error, I guess. Let's just catch unreachable this. Alright. So if we did not find this, then we want to populate it because it has created like a new entry in the hash map for it. So we need to populate it. So this is the pointer. We need to do this. And then yeah, and then we do document open file path is the absolute path, document type, wait, open, okay, I guess we do have open here, open file X, so yeah, let's just grab this. Alright. And that we can just use path there. This one is document type. Alright. And this one can become an error, so I think what we'll do is we'll catch this error. And then we'll do self show error could not open document, and then this is the path, and then this is the error, return. But now we because it was an error, we actually we need to delete the entry as well, so we need to actually remove this with a swap remove, and the key is absolute path. Oh yeah, we need to, oh, we did change the key here, okay. And then we don't need swap remove here, or I mean catch unreachable. No, it returns a bool that we don't care about. Okay, and then we return. So now if we didn't find anything, we populate it with, we open it up, the document file, we populate it, then we want to return the thing either that we found or that we just populated. There we go. Okay, so now we're able to request a document. It's gonna load it directly. It's also not gonna load any dependencies that this document might have, but at least it's like a rudimentary sort of system for requesting documents, which is a good start. Now let's get back to, I think, where was it? It's in, right here. Now we can actually, now we can get the timeout document here, so we can get this request document, and this is gonna be, can we get it here, timeout path or file name, and it has to exist there. Okay, so that's the document. Now we can actually grab the size here, get timer, wait, oh, this is a, okay, this is like not the actual document here, this is like, so we actually need to do like dot content and then question mark time map, because we know it's a time map, so we can just do this. Then we can do time map document dot get time map, and then we can access it. Okay, there we go. And here we have the tile size as well, so that one we can also, well, we can do tile size equals Yeah, we can do that. But we can also do get time map. No, get tile size. There we go. And then tile size. Okay. What's going on here? Oh yeah. Over 2. Okay. We have more things to do. So what's going on here? This one is, oh, is that not? Okay. This needs to be 0 terminated. All right. I guess the input might be whatever. Let's just use this. It's easier to just have like once you have 0 terminated somewhere, it's easier to have all these like file paths or whatever 0 terminated as well. All strings that's supposed to go into like the C libraries, so you don't get mismatches of slices types. Okay, what's this? All right. So if it fails, I guess this would be like a I mean, we could return the error as well. Where was this called from? Here. Is this doesn't have an error. We're just trying to draw the thing, so I guess it would just become an error, and then if we didn't get it, we can't really draw it. So I think what we'll do is we just say or else return here. Yeah. So we can do or else return, and then here we return a nullable, and here we return null. Okay. Wait. Request document. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Let's do document or else return there. Can you do this like time? I mean, this looks kind of weird, but I'm just gonna test this. Or else return. Can you wrap that and then will this work? Okay, it works. So we have an expression here that's like, if it's null, then return. Otherwise, keep going and grab the stuff out, and okay. I'm surprised that worked, but this is almost like whatever is called in JavaScript, like the coalesce, or yeah, C# has it as well, like the null coalescing or whatever it's called, Elvis operator, or yeah. I'm not sure what it's called, like the question mark dot. Let's see, expected 4 arguments, found 3. Except it's kind of more powerful because you can well, maybe not more powerful. It depends on the language, but some languages you can like question mark into a throw, others you can't. Here you can return. You can also do null, so that the whole expression will become null. So now this is nullable. Well, it should be nullable anyways, right? But this is sort of like Wait, but what? But now it doesn't work because if it's null, then you can't access it here. Okay, yeah, that doesn't work. It only works with return, I guess. Okay, because that exits the whole thing. Okay, I'm not saying this is a good pattern here, but I'm just gonna use it just because right now it's... I don't want to have something called document in here. Okay, anyway, back to... Wait, where did all the errors go? I'm pretty sure it's compilation errors, yes. Something is weird with my LSP here. Okay, document, scene, document 123. Okay, so here it's complaining about something. So is it because of that? Yeah. And here, this is a thing. Okay, let's do that. Oops. Right, so now we get these things. So this needs the timeout document. Right, so now we can actually provide that here, timeout document. But it wants it to be a pointer, which is kind of weird. But I don't think it actually modifies anything, so I'll just put that there. Oh, but now this is... let's do that, I guess. And then we can remove this. Okay, whatever else do we have? So here we also need the timeout document. Let's just do the same thing here. Why do we need... It's just the tile size, right? You know what? I'm just gonna hardcode this in here just so we don't need to grab that. All right, no field name. I mean, it's gonna be easy enough to just find all these and replace it later with like a, I don't know, a common like config thing, because it's not gonna change. We're not gonna have like different tile size stuff anyway, so it's all gonna be the same. No field name, timeout document, instruct, context. Yes. Right. I'm just trying to gather my thoughts here. There we go. Value of type ignored. Oh. Return. Okay. No more compilers, apparently. Let's see what the thing says. Okay. Now let's try and open the scene. Okay, there we go. It crashed, but wait, did it crash actually? No? Okay, it didn't crash. We can open stuff. Awesome. But nothing else is working. So the drawing works now. Oh, we got some... Whoa, we got a whole bunch of, I think, leaks here. Memory leaks. Interesting. Double free, okay. Right. So is this... Okay. Context. Let's just fix this real quick here. Right, so this one to absolute path. Why is it freed multiple times? Is the question. Is it like, does this take over? I'm not sure how this works. Like, you put it in the key. Do you need to free it? Like, is it this one that's gonna free it after? Or what? First free is here. Okay, that's the first free. Where's the second free? Right. So file path. Okay. So it's this one maybe. We open this file path. And we deserialize. Okay. I see. Here we're actually not copying it, I guess. So we might wanna duplicate here instead, because that's kind of a pattern. Like duplicating this thing that you pass in, because then you can always be sure that this will work here. However, I remember that I did take this into account somewhere else. But we can just do, you know, but now we need the allocator here. I think that's the safest bet though. Just duplicate this. Okay. I'm probably gonna get some other errors for doing that. Wait. Where was this called? Oh, here it was. No. This one. No. Well, maybe no. File path. Yeah. Deserialize. Wait, is it even called? Is this one even called? Here. Right, it's called here. Okay. But we know we're gonna free this one, right? Okay, there we go. So now we're freeing that. Okay. Let's try and open up scene again here. Let's try and open up a bunch of different stuff. Okay. Okay, we still got some leaks, I guess, but it's way less. Just from how long it took to still get double. First free, absolute path. So the first free is from scene document now, timeout document. Okay. And the second free is in this document. Okay. So we go to here and excuse me. We do deserialize. This should also like copy the path really. Let's see, scene document. Wait, I think it's in here. Document type. Deserialize. Got the path in here. We do a load on the path. Wait, that doesn't make sense. I don't think we're storing the path here. No, we are not. Wait, this one is the load function. Okay. So this is the one that is free twice. Where's the other one? First free is in Conte. Okay. 346. Okay, I'm confused. We just... it might be this one though. Open. Does this actually call init here? Or... we're just doing this. So that explains it a little bit. So let's do document equals init. And then that. So that one will duplicate it, and then we have to say document content equals content, and then we return that. Okay. Okay, let's try that. Still get some stuff here. Still the same thing, or is no? This is a different one. Editor. Open. Okay, let's go context 308. This file path. Wait. Right. So this file path. This is freed here, but then here. We call open here, and then this one is duplicated here, but then it's not actually freed up. Oh, so it's duplicated and then okay, so we don't actually need to duplicate it here, we can just pass it in. So let's get rid of this, and we can here we can actually just say try, because we don't need to do anything else. And then yeah, let's just rename this variable. There we go. All right. What's this? Destination point requires... let's change this one. Okay. Why does it take so long to exit? Is it the unloading, or... Also, it looks like it's unloading way more textures than it needs to. Let's try and just open this up one time. No? Wait, this is the wrong thing. Yeah, see, now it's unloading way less. Is it like every time you open? Hang on. Okay. if we go to context, right here we're getting open editors. We should now, right, I don't think we're actually populating the documents when we open the editors. Request documents does it. What's this one though? This one is new time. Okay, so yeah, new actually changes that. Right. So we should also do this when we open a new thing. Let's copy this. Open file node. Open editor. File existing. Open that up. So if we did not find, we open this thing, then we also want to put the document as well in the thing. So we put the document, I believe this should, yeah, it's the absolute path. This is, I think this should also be like the absolute path. Open, yeah. So we're getting the absolute path in there. We're putting that in the documents hashtag thing. The document we can get from entry value pointer document. And do you need it to be a thing? No. So we can put it there. So yeah, this should be fine because I mean, I guess the file path, well, that's a pointer as well. So the content is always going to be the 2 pointers. So it's always going to be like, it's safe to copy this document type around because it includes pointers inside it. So even though we keep the document in the editor, we also, it's safe to keep the same structure, just copy it into documents here because of that. So so we'll put that there. Okay. Now whenever we open the editor, we should also, it's also gonna store the document now. So if we open, for example, the scene a whole bunch of times, it should still not really like, okay, wow, we got some stuff happening. Let's see if it, yeah, it still loads like a whole bunch of stuff. I'm not sure why. So it's kind of weird, like it's opening the scene file, then it's like doing all this stuff. I don't understand why it reloads everything. It's not like unloading stuff, it's just loading more stuff in. Not sure why it does that. So let's do, whenever the editor is called here, let's do editor open file called, oops, and then it's not reading. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I mean, there might be something else that's happening that I'm missing. Oh, I forgot to look at the crash as well. Okay, so we got consistency with the crash here as well. That's a double free again. Okay, editor open file, yes. So why is that saved like multiple times? Or why is it opening up multiple times? Let's check here. Where is this called from? This is called from here. Open file node, yeah. And this one is called from here. And wait, there might be an error. Well, the document also, the document might actually exist as well. Let's just do catch unreachable there, and let's do if doc entry found existing. If it didn't find existing, then we want to put it. We want to do doc entry value equals documents, and this one I guess doesn't really have an error going in there. Actually, we probably always want to, no. So the thing is here, when we open the editor, oh wait, I'm stupid. Okay, so it's like we get in here, and then of course we open the editor again because we're looking at the editors, not the documents. Okay, and we find, if we didn't find an editor, we open the editor. However, we're opening the editor well like this, which means it's always gonna look in, like open the new document. So what we wanna do is we wanna find the document first. Existing document. Alright. And if that doesn't exist, if that exists, then we'll capture it. and we want to create a new editor, but we already have a document, so but the content might actually not exist, but let's just assume that it does exist. And this is the tag. We should be able to put the content thing like this. This is like the enum value maybe. Okay, but anyway, and then we want to set now the content. Let's see. Right, so we have okay. This has, I actually never used this function before. So when we init the editor, is this actually called somewhere else? Yeah, okay, it's only called there. So I think what we'll do is we'll just get the document here, and then this one should be like this, and I'll just put this here. Okay, that should be good, right? And then back to here, and so we'll initialize, we'll just put document right straight up there, and then we can just return, because now we're done. Okay. If we didn't have a document, we need to open the document, so that's what we're doing down here, and then we also need to store the document here, but we know that we actually already, we know that we don't have it, so we can use put directly, and so put, yeah, there we go. Okay. Right, so we try to open a file. This is called. We try to see if the editor is already open. If it's already open, then we don't really need to do anything. We set the current editor to that. Wait, but that should have been, because we're not getting rid of the editors. So we should, okay, anyway. Then, if we didn't find the editor, we want to look at, okay, do we have the document anywhere open, like the content of the document? And if we do have that, then we can just initialize a new editor with the document, so that's fine. Otherwise, we want to open the document as well, so we're going to use the editor.open file x, which is convenient here. And then we handle the error. We also store the document that we got from the editor opening the file, and we'll store it in our document hash map. Okay, now let's see if these leaks still exist, or if it's still like opening up the same document over and over. Okay. Yeah, it's still loading in more textures for some reason. I'm not sure why. Editor opened call on this. Opening scene file. Yeah, opening the time map. Okay, I'm not sure why it's like still. And we also get this double free as well. Okay, why is it still like opening up the thing? Okay, I'm just gonna log everything out here. So let's do not, so okay, editor for not found, and this is path. Okay, found document for initializing editor with it. And then here is like loading documents. All right. Let's also do this so we see that it's actually doing this storing document there. Okay. Good old logging. Now this is probably one of the cases where it's probably better to actually run a debugger here, but it's a bit of a hassle to get it running. Okay, now let's go back and forth here and see what it says. So storing document is the first one. Or is that because of the afterwards? Okay. Okay, so opening timer file. Editor not found. Interesting. Loading document. Editor open. File call. Yes. And then we store the thing. Here it says we're storing scene as well. So we're opening this scene file. We did not find the editor, which is weird because we already opened it, so it should exist. We are loading the document. Why? Because we already have it, so we should not load it. We said storing before, storing this document, and then it says loading. So I don't understand. Like we're putting here storing this. Well, this is the timeline. Here is the scene, right? Let's copy this whole thing. So we're storing the scene. I don't care about this time stuff. Okay, that happens first. So that is this. Then we're opening this file. Editor for this not found is the same as this. All right. Cool. And then it says loading this. Wait, why is there like a bunch of... Okay. It might just be sort of what, like a bunch of white space after. Okay, let's do this then. Let's do quotations. Just to make sure there's not some weird shenanigans going on. Of course, I forgot to close this out. Sorry about that. Okay, let's retry it. Also, I added quotation marks around. Okay, so that's the second time I loaded that. Storing document. So storing. Okay. Right. So let's copy all this. Yeah, you can see the quotation marks now. And there. Editor for this not found for some reason. So why? It's storing this one. It's it's the same same file name. So it says the editor is not found, and then it says that it's loading the document, and it said loading document because it didn't find the document. So I don't understand what's happening. Are we clearing this out? Or is it because the key is different? Is it because, no, but the key is supposed to be a string. It's a string hash map. So the key is like, it's supposed to be a string, and it's supposed to, right? Equal string. Yeah. So it's not gonna look, it's not gonna like equal pointers to each other. Hash string. Is it something weird with this? Truncate? What's going on here? But it should result in the same thing, right? Okay, so it's hashing, but the seed is the same. So should be the same, right? It should not, it doesn't make sense that you put the same string in as a key and then it all of a sudden, I mean, that's the only thing you can use to try to make sure. I think the hash thing, that's just to get it like, have it stored more like, I don't know, in a better way. Yeah, I don't know. Put in this document, it's not annullable. Like what? Also, it's the same problem with the editors. Because we're not closing down the editors. If we open our editor, we're not like removing the old editor. So the old editor should still exist as well. So okay, I'm actually lost here. I have no idea why this happens here. Wait, also, yeah, I think it might be something weird going on with absolute path. This is an this is an absolute path. We're getting absolute path in here. I just want to make sure that all of these open editor stuff is also like we're using absolute paths for that. So here, yeah, this one is absolute path. Okay. Yeah. I think this is the only place where we actually do that. Let me also see this function. It's opening that file. Okay. And yeah, I don't understand. What am I missing? Like, because this one, it says here, if there is an existing item with a key, then the result entry pointer points to it and found existing is true. Otherwise, puts a new item with undefined value and the entry pointer points to it. Caller should then initialize the value but not the key. Right, we're not doing anything with the key. I'm assuming... Wait, is this the issue? Are they actually not storing the key? Okay, this might actually be the issue here. I think the key... We actually need to have the key in the allocator and not deallocate it. So the path that we put in here... Okay, I think that might be the issue, because then when it gets... But we're not deallocating until we're... quitting anyway. So how... So the data should still be there while we are opening the other editor. So I... Actually, maybe not. Wait. No, it's not. Here we're actually freeing this up. Okay, that might be it. It might be looking at this pointer and then seeing garbage. It's not actually duplicating the keys. Or, wait. But then, what about the context? Like the string context. I think this is used to create, well, it creates a thing. No, yeah. It's just using this, okay, yeah. I think that's the issue. So when it compares, it looks, it's a miracle that it hasn't like crashed in the memory or something. Okay, I think that's the issue. So let's try and fix that now. I think all these, so we need the path to be, well, whenever we want to put this in a hash map like this, we need to make sure that this is lives. And also, so what we could do is just duplicate it. And yeah, so now it's duplicated. But then we need to deinitialize it properly as well. So we actually need to get the entries. What items? No, entries. Like, how do you get like both values and entries? Or okay, we got values, we got get. Okay, we got iterator, we got keys. I mean, I guess we could go do both entries and yeah, whatever. Keys. So this one, yeah. And here we just free the key. And let's do the same for is there like a free keys? No. Okay, yeah, I have to remember that for hash maps you have to store the key yourself. You have to manage the keys. There we go. I think that will solve the issue. And right, so whenever we use this, whenever we use this or put, we need to store this. So we actually, yeah, we need to duplicate that. All right. So we're doing that, and then put. We have two puts for documents, and this one. Let's dupe that as well. And this one. Okay, and if this doesn't work, then I don't know what's happening. Two arguments, right. Wait, what's going on here? Wait, where does this call from? Okay, apparently that was not an error, or maybe it was. Right, expected blah 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 blah. Memory. Okay. Context. Oops. 103. Wait. Oh, I think we can do that. And perhaps that. Yeah. Now let's see. There we go. Okay. Okay. There we go. That looks way better. Okay, and we exit. Of course, we get the double free again. But at least, hey, now we're not loading in the documents like a million times. And the textures are looking good now. Okay, cool. So we do have this double free from the document file path, it looks like. Editor. Okay, 335. So here, the thing we pass in here apparently is used as well. Let's see. Yeah, we're not supposed to free it here. We're freeing it out here. Yeah. And we're passing it in there. Now this path is passed into here, which then is passed into deserialize and deserialize on document type. And here we are calling load, but wait. Right, we're duplicating. Okay, so it's this one that's being, this one is being double freed here. I see. Why is that? Okay. So it's freed from editor to initialize. Oh, right. So the, okay. The editor should not initialize the document. That's not the responsibility of the editor anymore. So let's not actually do that. So I guess the editor doesn't really deinitialize anything anymore. Okay. Because we're doing that from the context. Okay, we still got some stuff happening here. A lot of stuff happening. Hello, chill guy. Welcome. How's it going? Man, there's a lot of stuff happening here. Okay, so it's a leak. Well, at least we got somewhere new. Context 369. Okay. Are you interested in Zig? Or game development? Or... Okay, so what's happening here? We're putting that there. Why is that? Are we not calling free on documents? Only... Ah, we're only calling... okay. No, we're calling it here. So, okay. Do we need to destroy? No, I don't think so. So what is actually leaked? It's... Are we calling clear and free? Yes. Wait, what's this? Draw entity? Wait, what? Oh, we're requesting layout. I thought live title was interesting, so yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're doing some live coding. What programming language is this? This is Zig programming language. It's like a new C almost, you could say. Well, it's like a low-level sort of memory managed, manual memory managed language. And right now I'm trying to implement a game editor with this, and also using Raylib as a rendering library, and ImGui as a UI library as well. Oh, you haven't heard about it? Okay. Well, so it's pretty new. I guess it has been around for a while, but it's not. I mean, I don't think it's not that popular, not yet at least. I hope that it will be, because I think it's really cool. So that's why I'm learning and showing progress and stuff. And yeah, it's really fun. What programming language are you using otherwise? Yeah, so draw entity. This is here, right? 339, yes. And here we are requesting the documents. Yeah. So is this one actually not working correctly? Yeah, get put. Oh, actually. Right. So we're actually duplicating. Okay, this is kind of bad. So we're duplicating the key here. We shouldn't actually do that. We should put the key. Okay. We should put the key here. So key pointer. Now this should be duplicated, right? But when we try to find it here, we might already have it. So we don't want to duplicate it again. Now this is the absolute path, yes. Okay. And now a little C#. Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, this one doesn't have classes, so it's a bit different. But I mean, there's functions and variables and you know. But yeah, it's different. So are you trying to learn other languages or? Sorry for English, I'm still learning. No problem. I didn't think that you were terrible, actually, so. I didn't know you were not that, like, native. I'm not either, so. Right, so this should prevent that, but I don't think this was the same thing. Maybe it was, actually. Oh yeah, we're allocating. Yeah. That should be probably it. Okay, let's try this again here. Now we don't want to do this here either, so let's get rid of that and just put the path in there, and then. Right, if we didn't find it, same thing here, done. We want the key. Actually, we want to do that anyway. There. Does that mean it's not object oriented? I mean, you can have structs. I mean, it's not object oriented in the same, like, it's not object oriented in the way it doesn't have inheritance. And what else is there to object orientation? I mean, it doesn't have classes. It does not have, like, you can sort of imitate classes sort of without inheritance with the structs. So you have structs. And then there's a convention where you have an init function, which is sort of like the constructor. But everything is sort of more based around having data, and then that data is just put into the structs, and then you have functions that you can call on the structs, basically. So, but then, you know, there are I would say, so it's more like C in that case, where you only have like data bunched up together in structs, and then you have functions that operate on those structs, basically. But the thing is that sets SIG apart from C and maybe other languages as well is it has the comp time stuff, which is kind of hard to explain, but it's basically generating code and like, yeah, well, code and types in compilation time, like in the build step. So, well, it's kind of hard to explain. You would really have to like look at examples to understand. But yeah, it's really fun, new. It's a breath of fresh air in the realm of programming languages, I would say. So that's why I like it. But it's kind of hard to explain. I mean, for someone who only have like C# and object-oriented stuff, I mean, it's kind of like without classes. Imagine that your class only has. Okay. Imagine that you don't have inheritances, basically. I don't know how to put it. Let's see, here we also use this, but this one is actually put, so we assume that we can always do this, so this shouldn't be an issue. And here as well. So now we have solved that. Let's see if we still have memory leaks. Well, the big thing I think also is memory management. You have to manually, like in C# there's an automatic garbage collector that keeps track of all variables, everything that needs to be like garbage collected. In reality, that's actually stored in the memory and using a automatic system for, there we go, we fixed it, collecting all the references that are not used anymore. So it keeps track of that. In Zig and in C and C++, you have to do all that yourself. So let's say you want to store a string, you actually have to make space for it somewhere in memory to be able to like for the computer to understand where it is to look for the string. And then you have to like free that string up if you want to sort of maintain the memory the space of the memory. So what I just fixed now was actually one of those issues. So each frame or each like loop of this program, which it goes around in loops in a loop to draw everything, each time it actually allocated a new like space for a string, and then I didn't free it, but the issue was that I wasn't supposed to allocate it in the first place. So I was just supposed to allocate it in the case where I needed it to be allocated in a new place, but otherwise I didn't actually need to allocate it. So that caused a memory leak, which we've now fixed here. Yeah, you heard a little bit about this. Yeah, it takes a little bit to get used to if you're not used to it. When I started programming, I actually started with C++, so that actually had like manual memory management. So, but it still gets you off guard a lot of times. You have to be like very adamant about cleaning up yourself, but sometimes it's also about patterns, like keeping to a certain pattern and knowing. It's a lot also about knowing how other functions work. Like if you call a function and you send a string into it, you don't know what that function is going to do to that string. Well, you do know because it's SIG and you can always look at the code. But because this one, for example, this is the standard library. I can go in here and look at this is the standard library code. So I can actually go in here and look at the code directly, which is kind of nice. Or it's really nice, actually, because then you can say, okay, what does it actually do with this key? It doesn't actually store it. It doesn't actually allocate it. It just uses the pointer that it gets in here. Okay, but now I'm gonna get rid of all of these things. Oops, not that one. Okay, let me search for the logs. Change size. Okay, I don't care about this one. Get rid of that. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to get rid of all the logs. But yeah, it's, and you know, you can ask yourself, like, why would you want to do that? Well, it's like it gives you a lot of, well, I guess the real answer is like optimization, basically. It's like, because otherwise you don't really gain anything. I just want to use program for fun. Do you have any suggestion for what language is best for me to learn? I mean, for newcomers, I always well, I used to recommend like Python, because it's easy to get into. You don't need to learn a whole bunch of concepts like classes and stuff before like getting into writing algorithms and stuff. So, and also it's like a dynamic type language, so you don't have to mess with types and stuff. So it's like a very easy to get into, I guess, language. I haven't touched it in a couple of years, so I'm not sure how it looks right now, but I think it should be a pretty good start. It's a bit confusing. Okay, so have you started with C#? Are you new to C# as well, or are you working with it, or? But I would recommend like Python to people who want to learn about programming first. And it's like, if you're interested in just programming in general, I think Python is a good start. If you want to do something specific, like start a web page, or yeah, then you might want to like look into more stuff, because then it's like, yeah, you need to learn like HTML, CSS, and probably a bunch of JavaScript as well. So then, but it all depends on really what you want to do. Yeah, Python is I mean, it's one of the most popular languages, and it's very easy to get into, I would say. And you can write like backend, you can write servers with it as well. I mean, yeah, it's a perfectly fine language. And you can write games in it as well, although it's not that popular, I guess, for if you want to have like a super optimized engine and stuff. But yeah, it's nice to get started with, to learn like different like things in programming. Like most programming languages have the same kind of features, I would say. It's just certain programming languages that has like some weird paradigms, like, but if you stick to like the normal popular ones, then it's mostly the same like features and stuff. Python also has classes, and yeah, I mean, I think another advice is just to practice and try to build stuff. That's just the way I started, was just following some tutorials and then try to build things. And it in the beginning was really hard to know, like, okay, I want to do this, but how to actually get starting on doing it. That was the hard part, like actually like trying to find your way to actually implement something that you wanted to happen. And maybe you knew what your goal was, but it was really hard to kind of figure out how to get there. I think, but that really, it just comes with practice, and just yeah. So just find some tutorials online and just learn, and eventually you will get it. At least that's how it was for me. But maybe it's better to get a coach, or I don't know. I guess it depends on how you want to learn stuff. I think my problem is with the language I'm learning, actually. It's not that, it's that after learning the syntax, I don't know how to create a program with it. I'm stuck in tutorial. Yeah, I think I know what you mean. I think that's what I was trying to say. Like, it's like in the beginning it's really hard to know how to do stuff. Like, you could do exactly what the tutorial could tell you to do, but if you wanted to do something a little bit different, then it was really hard to actually understand, okay, how do I actually do it this way? How do I do it like I want to do it? And I don't really have a good advice there, except for just practicing and trying to think of the things that you learn as tools that you get in your tool belt, and then try to learn how to combine the things that you've learned in order to do more things. And I think also one misconception with programming is that, or I don't know if it's a misconception, but it's like, it's always like going to be harder than you think to do things. So it's like, yeah, I want to do this, but can't it just exist like a thing that does this? No, you have to build it yourself. That's the thing. You have to like build everything yourself. I mean, of course, there's a lot of stuff that you can get from like a library or like built-in things in the language, but just simple things like building up a text in a way that you want to build it up. Let's say you want to build like a texture adventure game or something, which is what I started out with, like learning the ropes, like just learning how to like put strings together and manipulate strings is like a skill that you need to get in order to do most things in programming. Like string manipulation is a good, I guess, thing to learn, and way to start as well. And then, you know, all the things that you will learn, like loops and if statements, control, it's all gonna be part of how you like learn to program. So and then you just gotta figure out like, okay, how do I break things down into small enough steps in order to make sense in this programming language, and so that I can actually take those steps and get where I want to go. So yeah, and that's a skill that you are gonna learn while programming. And I'm not sure if, I mean, there's probably tons of good resources out there for that. But yeah, it's really interesting actually. Like I think it's really interesting discussing this. Like, it was a long time ago. I was thinking of people that haven't programmed before, and how would you learn programming in a good way, or like in an efficient way. It's often you take a lot of things for granted, like when you've actually learned programming, and then to me it's like obvious, like, oh yeah, you just do this. Like, yeah, how do I solve this problem? Yeah, just do this. Like, well, I not all programs, of course, but it's like but then you stop to think like, okay, maybe this person hasn't the experience, and it wasn't obvious for them. Like if you're trying to teach someone programming, and you have to understand, you have to like, I mean, of course you need to put yourself in their shoes, but it's hard to see from their perspective because yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I think yeah, practice plus trying to find some, I guess, good tutorials or something. I don't know, man. Sorry if I don't have any better things. But really, I would say one thing though. Yeah, I think it really helps to trying to figure out, okay, what do I like to build something that you yourself are kind of like, I want to build this, because you kind of learn like, okay, how hard is it actually to build this? And it's always going to be harder than you think, especially in the beginning. It's like in the beginning you're gonna have really bad like estimation skills, let's say, and where do you actually put your ambition level? Like it's gonna be really hard to gauge like what projects are actually realistic to be able to implement. And over time that ambition level is gonna be increased, and you're also gonna like hone in on you're gonna be able to see more clearly what you'll be able to achieve as well. So yeah, and yeah, don't give up. That's also good. I mean, you can like temporarily give up, I guess. I mean, I was like when I was doing projects, I gave up on I've given up on almost all of my projects because I got stuck, and then but I still learned something. I still learned every time I tried to do something. I learned, and I got further and further. Maybe my problem was that I couldn't set the ambition level too low for me to actually do something. But yeah. But that's also, I think. Yeah, create a few projects fit my skills. Yeah, because you learn so much from doing that. You really learn how to, like, you know, flap your wings or whatever it's called. Let's see, what's happening? Wait. Okay, let's run this. Was it still an issue here? No, I think we solved all the issues. Yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah, so now we can open the scene. So, and there's no issues with that. Now, and we can also open the time up here, and that document is actually requested from the scene, and you can see it here drawn. Now I want to add the camera controls and the menu as well, so let's do that. Now we'll go into the layout, and see, that's the thing. We have the menu here. Let's do handle input first. I think that's the easiest one. Is it a game or a game? Is there a game engine or a game? So what I'm doing right now is like the editor for the game. I have a game, and I also have a game engine, and in a separate project, which it is available on GitHub, but it's not like, it's just there for educational purposes. It's not really meant to be used by like a public whatever. And then what I'm building right now is the game editor, which is a separate project from the game and the game editor or game engine. So you have the game is one project, game engine is one project, and then the game editor is another project. So the idea is that I want to build this tool to increase the productivity when like building stuff like the tile maps or the levels, and like putting all the monsters and stuff in there, and doing stuff like animations and stuff like that. So it's like a slowly building up the tools that I want to have when building the game. And it's like an incremental thing. So I'm building it up incrementally as well. So it's not like I'm trying to do a whole bunch of stuff at the same time. Although this refactoring that I've been doing now is kind of like that, but it was a necessary evil. So, but I'm trying to sort of slowly increase, like add a feature here or there, you know. Start small with whatever the tool will be, the game editor, and then just add a feature here or there, and then eventually it will grow into a more sophisticated thing. And the idea is also that I can use it for other games as well. It's not just for this game, so it's not tied either to this sort of Zig game engine. It's supposed to be more agnostic as well. So that's kind of different from like Unity and Unreal Engine, which has the engine very tightly coupled with the editor, which is, I mean, it's a good way to get into and just make a game. But I just wanted this to have more flexibility at the same time. And it's not supposed to be maybe, I mean, it's just a fun project for me. Very cool, keep it up. Thanks. Yeah, it's really a fun project, and I'm learning this new language, and also this sort of making the tool, the editor. I'm using a new way of building an editor as well. So I'm used to the building websites otherwise. So this is a bit different, but it's also kind of the same at the same time. So, but yeah, it's really fun. Yeah, so now we've enabled this part of the program, so we are getting a whole bunch of errors, and we do need to put scene document in here. So I'll just grab this. Like this. Right, and here we have camera controls. I think we don't really need to change that. Basically all of these functions, probably we need scene document like this. But yeah, good luck with your programming learning. When, like, do you think it's fun? Like, let's say you have hammered away at a problem, and when you solve it, do you think, like, do you get like a a kick out of that, because that's the way I feel. Okay, we need drag payload. Let's add this function. Well, we already have it here. Get drag payload. Okay, is this? Let's return pointer. So if we do or else return null, and then okay, does this work? I guess it does. And now this is a pointer. Yes, of course, this will make programming fun. Yeah, I agree. I would say it's one of the. I would say it's a huge factor. Of course, it's like it's incredible feeling you get. But it's nowadays it's not that frequent anymore. It's like in the beginning it was like this incredible feeling. I think it's like it's almost you get like addicted to it. But now it's like it's more you slowly build up a thing, and you can appreciate looking back at what you've done. You can really like, if you want to, you can slow down and just look at it and appreciate the thing that you've built. I think it's more of that now for me. Oh, this needs to be okay. This needs to be wait. No, that doesn't work. But I think we need to make it like this. And that. Whoops. Okay, that. Wait, this should work. But yeah, that's such an incredible feeling. I was just wondering what if you think it's fun. I guess that's what I was asking. Yeah. Because that's a huge like motivator to continue learning. Yes. Okay, so let's do. Let's do drag payload. Let's do it like this. Scene document. Oops. Yes, I think it's fun. Yeah. Very good. Okay. There we go. Because I know a lot of people who see it more as a job than fun. That was not the way I approached programming at like. But it's kind of hard to see people who do the thing that you think is like super engaging and fun, and then you wanna like share that excitement, but then they're like, oh, I don't wanna like talk about programming. It's like, okay. But you know, I mean, whatever. It's not that big of a deal. It was just like, in the beginning I couldn't understand, like, what, this is the most awesome thing ever. Why is it like this? Scene document, get this if this is not equal to null. Okay, what, this comparison here, does that work? Or yeah, okay, maybe. Wait, you want, no, you want the scene document. Hang on a second. Truth is, I've been interested in program for a few years, and every time I fail at it, I end up coming back to it because of my passion. Yeah? Yeah, same for me. That's, yeah. I mean, that's a really good sign that you're probably gonna keep at it and become a good programmer. I mean, it's just like a, for me it's like a hobby. It's like I don't like, why I don't have a reason to quit doing it. It's just like, I think it's fun. Okay, so now we get this one, persistent data entities. Okay, so do we have like get entities? Yes. Oh, but now we need, okay, now we need actual list. Right. I guess we could do array list. This. Okay. Now we need to fix a bunch of other places, but now we can do append. Wait. What's happening? Expected type constant. Wait, this is, oh, I need to return it like this, I think. Yeah. Wait, but then what, how does this work? No, is that really the issue? Okay, maybe it is. Okay. Yeah, I need to do this. Yeah, and then we need to do items now. Right. This is gonna be scene documents. Get entities. Okay. Drag start point. Self document non drag start point. There we go. Okay, a lot of places we need to fix. Drag, payload, not equal to null. We need some document in here. Alright. Select entities. There. And drag start point. So we also want get drag start point. I guess as a vector. And I mean, yeah, we could just use set. Alright, so this would be get, no, start point, right, and then here we can say set drag start point. Would be, okay, so I guess let's have it as a nullable. Okay. Set is dragging false. So this one, as I said before, this kind of feels like we're duplicating a lot of stuff, but it's also nice to get this interface here, because you might want to add functionality to it and stuff. Let's see, set is dragging. Cool. All right. What else here? Get selected entities, item 0. All right. What about this one? Is dragging. Get is dragging. There. So, are you? Oh, so, what do you think is most fun? Like just programming in general, or like game development, or what kind of program do you want to get into? Or do you just want to learn as much as you can? Delete entity. Okay, we got that one. Right, so I think this one is a bit different. 'Cause, yeah. Wait. yeah. So I think this is better. So the persistent data, probably a good idea to not have it have a bunch of functions on it. I think it's better to have it like this minimal stuff cloned in it, and then all the functionality is actually on the document itself. Yeah, I think that's way better, because then you don't have to like duplicate stuff. I'm not gonna clean that up right now, but I might do it later for time map, because that one has a lot of duplication going on. Also, especially for the persistent data. Projects like building graphics engine for games, for example, seems interesting to me. Yeah. Game development, same. I think in general I'm interested in programming. Yeah. Cool. That's nice. I don't want to deter you or anything. I mean, I guess it depends on the type of graphics engine you want to use. But also, one thing but what I was gonna say is like that stuff is pretty hard. And the reason for that is you need to learn like a lot of different things to be able to do it. But I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying like for someone who wants to do like the first project or whatever. But what I would say is go for it. Also, you will learn a bunch of stuff trying to do something like that as well. So it's not wrong. And what else was I gonna say? I was gonna say something, but I messed it up. No, it escaped me. Oh yeah, so what I was gonna say was it's really nice, like a bit of Swedish working its way in there. It's what I was gonna say is like, and I think some people don't really get this, but it's like when you build something, it's like some people say like, okay, the first thing I do is like look for something that's already been done, and then I use that and just learn how to use that, and then I will achieve my goal faster. But I would say, to me, it's really interesting to try and build a thing that you're looking at, because then you actually learn a lot more. You learn how it works more. And of course, it's like, if you're only interested in the end product, then sure, go do what you want to do. But I think it's more interesting to actually learn how it works under the hood, so to speak. And then when you actually can and then when you've built it like one time or a couple of times or whatever, then you can appreciate it more. And you can also next time you want to start a new project, then you can feel like, okay, now I actually reached a point where, okay, I'm gonna use this library now because I know how it works, and I don't feel like building this thing again. And so for me, for example, I've done it with it's a thing called ECS in game development. So that kind of library is like, you can build like a smallish library that implements it. But I've done it a couple of times, and then I was like, okay, so I've seen how it works, I know basically how it works, and now I want to just make a new project, and I just want to use something that I can get started with easily, and focus on something else. So you kind of go there, you learn a little bit there, you go somewhere else, you learn a bit there, and each time you build up your knowledge about things, because there's so much to learn, because people are just people are building new concepts and stuff, coming up with new concepts all the time. But it's yeah, I love it. I love to learn, and building things is really fun. Yes, I know it's a long way to learn it. This seems like a long-term goal. Yeah, so it's really awesome if you can have a long-term goal and achieve it. I know for me it's like in the beginning I was like I could never finish projects, and I got in sort of like a trap there where I started a project because that I was really excited about. I got stuck and I lost energy and motivation, and some other idea started to plant inside my head, and then I started to think about that, and then I was more motivated on doing that instead. And I think my problem was maybe I should have tried to learn how to finish a project is the thing. Because it's not necessarily always fun to work on something, but especially when you get stuck, you know, it's not always a bed of roses or whatever. And but I would say once you've like, if you build something large, and one thing that will help motivation is like you've come such a long way that you can look back and see, you know, yeah, I built this large thing, and that actually helps with keeping up the motivation as well. Just learning a new thing is enough for me. Yeah, I really love that part in programming. It's just a fun. It's just fun to explore. It's what I like in games as well. I love exploring type games. Okay, so where was I now? All right. So okay, so back to here. Unused. Okay, let's do this. Okay, what's this? Okay, so you need scene document also, I think. And you also need scene document. Whoops. Scene document. And yeah. Wait, what's happening here? Oh. Document file path. Oh, that's not nullable anymore. Cool. We are getting somewhere. Okay, so right, so this actually needs to be mutable here. Cool. Unable to load. What? I've not seen this error message before. So it doesn't find it, or what? What's the issue? Let's try and resave this. Okay. Okay. Now I don't think there was an issue there. Okay, so now we got the camera, like the controls. Cool. Yeah. So wait, actually, can you move? Can you move entities in this mode? Yes, you can. Okay, cool. When you're going to stream again? I think it's interesting to see someone else program big difficult project. Ah, cool. Well, I don't really have a schedule. That's the problem. So I would really like to get one, but it's kind of sporadic now, unfortunately. I'm just in the start hoops of, well, just in the start. I've been doing it for like, I have a YouTube channel for like a half year, but I still have work, like a normal day job, you know, and so it's I don't know when I have time to do it. So that's why it's a bit, I can't really have a schedule. I might try to put something together, but yeah. So right now I'm just doing it whenever I have a little bit of time over. But yeah. So that's how I will try. Maybe if I know, I could say in advance. I could create like a post in advance, maybe, and then you might catch it, you know. But I haven't been good at doing that kind of stuff. I just wanna get on working with the project, and yeah, I like showing it. I like talking, discussing about programming as well. So that's why I'm streaming as well. Wait, what am I doing? So yeah, I might. I'm gonna try and get better at posting before, maybe to announce sort of. Here's the stream. I do have a Discord that you can join, but that it's the same issue there. Really, I'm not really saying before when I'm gonna stream. But I guess the best shot you would have is like, well, okay, times are difficult. I don't know, what time zone are you in? I'm in like UTC +2, I think, or +1. I'm not sure. It changes depending on the year, or I mean, daylight savings. Right, no, I'm gonna go here, and then we have editor menu. That's right. So we probably want to put this here also. Right. So we have scene document. Okay, now we're calling this, so we should get a whole bunch of errors, or maybe not. Wait, what's happening here? Alright, okay, this button will disappear. I hope I get to the stream sometime. Nice. Yeah. It's really hard. It's really bad. I wish I would. This was my job, so that I could have a schedule, but that's not how it works right now. I'm trying to work towards that, but it's really nice to get to talk to someone on the stream and discuss these things. Thanks for joining and talking with me here. See, why am I not getting like compilation errors? Is it because it's unused? So let's do this. Yeah, probably. Wait, editor okay, yeah. Because this is apparently no. I think I'm gonna remove this. Remove all the tries. Oh, yeah, we're not gonna have these. Well, we're gonna have save. Yeah, cool. Yeah, also, yeah, I would say this for like advice on learning programming. Explore, like try and see what works, and because you're gonna see what will work and doesn't work. I guess that's maybe more for, I mean, that's an advice that's gonna keep on going for the rest of learning to program. I mean, and which we all do all the time. So for me, it's like, I think it's really fun to explore, especially with the new programming language that's like this, and see how can you build stuff in a new way. I'm always trying new like patterns, new ways of doing things, and yeah, and then you learn like, okay, this was good in these ways, this was bad in these ways. When do you want to use this type of thing? When do you want to use that type of thing? I really hate like just getting stuck and just using the same old, solving the same old problem over and over. That's not fun to me. I want to solve new problems. Okay. Open. Okay, set timer. So this one is a bit different, because yeah, so before we open like a file dialog and we can choose the time map that we want to set to this scene, but now we have the assets manager, so we already have like a bunch of files that you can choose from. So it's almost like maybe we want to have an internal dialog that you can choose the file that you want to get. However, that's gonna be like a whole thing that we need to implement. So maybe in the future. For now, I think I'm gonna try and actually keep the same thing. So, did I remove this, or where did this go? I think maybe I removed this function. Or I might have it in the editor. Oh yeah, it's this one. Well, let's go to context and we'll just add this again, just for this purpose here. How much time did you spend watching educational videos to learn a new language? Well, for SIG, I didn't watch much. I might have watched a little bit. But I think for me, I learn, like nowadays, I learn more by going into sort of the documentation, like the text-based documentation of stuff. Like maybe when you want to sort of get the first introduction, it helps building, like going maybe into, well, it kind of depends. Well, I think when you watch a video, you might learn like new concepts that you might not have known about before. But I usually also go into like the homepage of the language, because then you often get like a quick introduction to see the syntax and everything, and you sort of get an idea of how it works from that. And then I usually just try and just build a small project with the language, like, I don't know, creating maybe a web server, or just using, you know, the built-in libraries stuff, like standard library, and or maybe just, you know, read a file, something like that. Put it down, like okay, I lied. The first project I would do is like a hello world. Okay, so just initialize the project hello world. Unfortunately, fortunately, SIG does that for you when you actually initialize a project. But yeah, I think I'm kind of weird, like, or I don't know if I'm weird, but I think it's like it helps to look at the same thing from different angles. Like, yes, it's nice to get a video sometimes, but it's also nice sometimes you want to do it quicker. You don't want to go through a video when you have like a specific question. You just want to get the answer, and then it's faster to just Google it. Unfortunately for SIG, there's not much like Stack Overflow help you to get for SIG yet, since it's such a new language and it's not that popular yet. So there's not that many questions on there that will help you probably. So you would have to, you're kind of depending on yourself a lot with it. So I would not recommend that for a new if you want to learn and programming for the first time. That's not fun. I don't think. Let's see. This one. Yeah, okay. So let's say we open it. Let's say we get a document back, maybe. Okay, I don't know. Let's do this for now. Let's do self context and initial path. We don't have. Let's do this, whatever. Okay. So right, the file filter. I mean, the file filter is just gonna be tarmac, and then the path. Wait, what? Did I remove this? Okay, so this one we don't want. Okay, the initial. I'm just. Wait. It's nullable, right? So let's just use null. Okay. I think I'll go to Swiss Night Town. Yeah. For me, it's 11 right now. 11 o'clock. So I should also sign off here soon. But okay, let's say it's 11 now. So you can usually catch me, maybe. It's not every day and it's not like set in stone and stuff, but maybe around like noon, or maybe from like 10, so about 13 hours ago to whatever, to like 5, but which is so from 13 hours ago to 8, no wait, 6 hours ago, I think, if my math is correct. But yeah, sleep well, and hopefully I'll see you. User declared identifier. Right, this is editor. But I wanna. Wait, I guess we could use this. We get the editor out. And then we can return the document. Turn on notifications, hope it works. Yeah, me too. See ya. Yeah, I mean, I guess we can do that. Return editor document. And if we fail, I guess it. Okay, yeah, I guess it can fail, or it can. Let's do or else return null here. So this would actually be the file name. No, we don't need the if. Right. Oh, but this is also an error. So let's catch and return null as well. Alright, there we go. Wait, is this still an optional? I think we need parentheses around. Yeah. Like that. I think it's kind of weird when you say null. Like you can say null or else return null. The same as just returning null. It's kind of funny to me. Yeah. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Thanks for joining. Use of undeclared self-allocator. And yeah. What else? Editor. Save editor. Yes. We need editor here. Alright. Okay. So we should get this now. So document there. And then we just check here if we have the document. Well, I guess we can do let's do like this. We don't have to name this intermediate thing. And we get seen, so now we can do this. Get entities dot items. Okay. And the file name is gonna be document file path. Except this is relative, I'm pretty sure. So well, I guess it's fine as long as we can. Yeah, I think it's fine because this file name. Oh, we are. Wait. So we can't really. Yeah. Okay. So when we do set, it duplicates it. Okay. I really have to get a pattern going with these strings. It's I have like one different pattern for each struct, it feels like. Okay. Which causes a lot of like, okay, I have to understand how this works. But yeah, so where so here, so this file path is gonna get duplicated. Yes, good. I think that should be fine. All right. Active label. Okay, editor. Fine. Scene document select. Release. What's this scene filter? Oh, scene file. That's okay. What's happening here? Set target. Wait, entity. Oh, right. I forgot about this. This is setting the target to another scene file now. That's right. So we probably want to do the same. Okay. Probably want to do this again. Also, oh yeah, so we probably want to request this document instead of opening it up like this. Yeah. File name. Okay. So okay, because now it's gonna get stored in the document system, or if it's already loaded, we don't actually load it again. So, and we can do the same thing for something else. I guess what we could do is we could have the document type here, and then pass in the tag here. So it's not necessarily for time maps. Open file with dialog. How is it spelled? No, it's just like this, right? Okay. And then yeah. So now we can, it doesn't have to be a time map, whatever. We're gonna get the file filter for whatever type it is. And we're gonna go through the same process as the other stuff. So now we don't do this, we do this is equal to, well, actually we're gonna do context open file dialog scene, and we're gonna get the document here, and we don't need to free any paths. Now we can set the scene file name. I guess we don't really have to load the thing in, we just need the actual file path. Okay, whatever. Allocator and the name, which is going to be document file path. Again, it's going to be relative, but I don't think that, yeah, it's gonna be a problem when we get there. I'm gonna add this to do here. So check if there's an issue with this path being relative to root. And I'm gonna do the same thing for this. Wait, set scene file. This feels like a copy paste issue here. Scene file name. This is the timer file name, not scene file name. I'm just gonna remove scene from this. Okay. So I'll just paste this to do here as well. Okay. Open file with dialog. Time up. Open target scene. Right. Now this should be pretty easy actually. We just do open editor, or we can do open. Well, I guess we can do open editor since we know it's a thing. And then the file name there. Yep. Oh, but this needs to be. Let's do this, I guess. I've had bad experience with zero terminated strings and JSON, like the SIG JSON library, but I've not actually encountered any issues yet here, but I have in the past. Okay, so we need that. Wait, I can do this. Time map document. Oh, right, a tile size. Okay. Okay. I'm hoping it will work. Okay. So let's try and add a monster here. And we'll save. And we'll reload. And there we go. Delete works. Yeah. And here you can see we have these things. So we have the scale, we have target, open target scene. See, that works as well. Cool. I think we're mostly back to where we were. Let's try and change the key. I also want to check if we get any. Okay, so we do get some, I think, leaks here, maybe. Oh, it seems like a loopy thing. Entrance. Okay. I have to check on that next time. But what was it? Okay, start again, and now it says wait. Didn't I? Okay, I think you have to press enter and then save. Yeah, okay. Okay, so that seems to work. Whoops, wrong thing. Yeah. Let's try changing the scale, I guess. Yeah, that works. And you can open target scene. Let's see if we can set the target, I guess. Test village. Yeah, forest center is the only thing. Okay, it's actually, I can actually open it. So that's really good. Let's see if it actually got saved, maybe. No. Cool. And let's just test if we can play it for the sake of it. There we go. So we can actually play it as well. Cool. Well, yeah. And reset camera works. So I think that was way easier than I expected for the scene thing. I mean, we kind of cheated on some things like opening, like setting target and stuff. But yeah, it works. Now we have the assets manager. The scene can request things like the time map. And yeah, it works. So I think one more thing that we need to do for the sort of resource management system is also all the textures. All the textures are hard-coded right now. So it's like hard-coded which textures we need to load in. And what I want to do is be able to say that a texture is, well, like something depends on this texture. But I don't think it's time for that just yet, though. I think this should be good enough. And now the next step is, let's see, where are we? Here. So we do have a way to load dependencies. Well, or we have a way to load documents. I do want also a way to lazy load, which is sort of weird. Well, it's gonna start a load in the background, I guess, and then somehow, yeah, we'll see how this works. This is gonna be interesting because I think this needs like multi-threaded stuff. We'll see. Yeah, and I mean, assets manager, we have scene as well. Well, we can't create the scene, but we can open the scene. Next step is also getting animation editor in here. So we do have the old animation editor, but I want to move that into the new editor so that we can incorporate it there. So yeah, I think, but that's gonna be for next time. So thanks very much for anyone tuning in here. Hope you maybe had fun. And yeah, so have a nice day, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.